Hello, and welcome to Crocheting with the Classics. Today we're going to be listening to two short stories by Aesop, The Two Men and the Bear, and The Animals and the Plague. So here's our first one, The Two Men and the Bear. Two men were traveling in company through a forest, when all at once a huge bear crashed out of the bush near them. One of the men, thinking of his own safety, climbed a tree. The other, unable to fight the savage beast alone, threw himself on the ground and lay still as if he were dead. He had heard that a bear will not touch a dead body. It must have been true, for the bear snuffed at the man's head a while, and then, seeming to be satisfied that he was dead, walked away. The man in the tree climbed down. "It looked just as if that bear whispered in your ear," he said. "What did he tell you?" "He said," answered the other, "that it was not at all wise to keep company with a fellow who would desert his friend in a moment of danger." And Aesop says the moral of this story is misfortune is the test of true friendship. These stories, by the way, come to us from the Library of Congress versions of Aesop's Fables. All right, now for The Animals and the Plague. Once upon a time, a severe plague raged among the animals. Many died, and those who lived were so ill that they cared for neither food nor drink, and dragged themselves about listlessly. No longer could a fat young hen tempt Master Fox to dinner, nor a tender lamb rouse greedy Sir Wolf's appetite. At last the lion decided to call a council, and when all the animals were gathered together, he arose and said, "Dear friends, I believe the gods have sent this plague upon us as a punishment for our sins. Therefore, the most guilty one of us must be offered in sacrifice. Perhaps we may thus obtain forgiveness and cure for all. I will confess all my sins first. I admit that I have been very greedy and have devoured many sheep. They have done me no harm. I have eaten goats and bulls and stags. To tell the truth, I even ate up a shepherd now and then. Now, if I am the most guilty, I am ready to be sacrificed. But I think it best that each one confess his sins as I have done. Then we can decide in all justice who is the most guilty." "Your Majesty," said the fox, "you are too good. Can it be a crime to eat sheep? Such stupid mutton heads. No, no, your Majesty, you have done them great honor by eating them up. And so far as shepherds are concerned, we all know they belong to that puny race that pretends to be our masters." All the animals applauded the fox loudly. Then, though the tiger, the bear, the wolf, and all the savage beasts recited the most wicked deeds, all were excused and made to appear very saint-like and innocent. It was now the donkey's turn to confess. "I remember," he said guiltily, "that one day I was passing a field belonging to some priests. I was so tempted by the tender grass and my hunger that I couldn't resist nibbling a bit of it. I had no right to do it, I admit. A great uproar among the beasts interrupted him. Here was the culprit who had brought misfortune on all of them. What a horrible crime it was to eat grass that belonged to someone else. It was enough to hang anyone for, much more for a donkey. Immediately they all fell upon him, the wolf in the lead, and soon had made an end to him, sacrificing him to the gods then and there, and without the formality of an altar." And the moral of this fable is, the weak are made to suffer for the misdeeds of the powerful. Ain't it the truth? Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and have a lovely afternoon. Goodbye.